If you start traveling on 65, it's not wrong. Of course, you'll have some pleasure, but it is not the same because you don't have the knees, you don't have the patience, you don't have the endurance, you don't have the time. And you understand that you run out of time and you will try to do even more, but your body will not let you do more because it is not the same. Oh, Big D, nice Big D. How are you doing, man? You're on time. Perfect. I can see the counter set 6 people. Let's wait for a couple of minutes and then we're gonna start with the topic that I have promised. 5 things that I wish I knew when I started. It's a good topic. I hope that many will find some benefits and will correct the mistakes that I have made. Oh, Bill, how are you, man? I haven't seen you from a long time. Robert, morning for Robert. Where are you from, Robert? Habashi. Christoph, you did a tour today. 5 degrees in Germany. Brrr, oh yeah. 3 degrees here in my place. I'm gonna ride tomorrow. Will be like 8 to 9 degrees. I'm much better than today. Sydney, Australia. 5 a.m. Thank you very much for such an early time. The same for Bill. I know you, Bill. I know you very well. How is the old DR? Still pumping? Still thumping? Yeah, it's nice to see so many people here. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Yeah, as I said, the topic is interesting. I have some things that I would like to share. Never dies. Refuse to die. It was like my old Tenere, refuse to die. I hope that with the new owner, it will survive many more years and many more kilometers, and I'm sure that it will. Yeah, some of these old technologies, you know, they are unbeatable. You just cannot kill them. It doesn't matter how hard you're trying. And DR is one of those things. It has some small problems, but if you knew it in advance, you can fix it and then unstoppable. Good. So guys, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your support as a channel members, as always comments, always viewing all of my videos. I really appreciate that. That's why I still doing this stuff, because I have loyal people like you that follow me for many years, helped me a lot, did a lot of good things for me. And it's like a pleasure for me to talk with you guys. Anyway, I think it's time to start with the topic that I promised. You left it in Croatia, so ready to go at any time and ride it. Lucky you, clever man. This is a good idea, so you don't need to spend much money to ship it again and again. Yeah, it's a very good option. Good. Thanks for sharing. Alright guys, now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna discuss everything that I have here on the left side. There are actually 5 different points with many sub-points that I would like to discuss on the topic. 5 things that I wish I knew when I started, or maybe that I wished I had knew when I started. I'm not sure about the right grammatic here, but whatever, you know what I mean. And after I say everything that I have, then I'm gonna give you time for questions if you have, or if you like to add topics. Be my guest, because as I said many times, everything, all the information that we collect together, me and you together, will be beneficial for many people that will watch the stream after that when I upload it on Tuesday. That's why any information that you have or anything that is connected to the topic, please share it. It will help a lot. Of course, after I finished, any questions on any topic are more than welcome. Just go ahead and I will do my best to reply to you. Alright, let's start now. As I said, 5 things that I wish I had known when I started. I always have been a lucky man, but during my time the information was not enough. So when I started riding, the information was not like today. Today you can open YouTube and you'll find so much information about anything you need, anything. But when I started, the YouTube was just not existing. It was there, but it was not what is today. You cannot really find such a nice information. For example, there are no YouTube videos showing stuff like that. On the later stage, they start to come some videos here and there from travelers, but they were mostly videos recorded with very poor quality, just like one go like this, no information, just music, some kind of different scenes are changing, so you cannot really get the idea what exactly is to travel on a trip or what exactly luggage you need and something like that. I remember I was watching one Ukrainian guy, what was the name, Karovlin or whatever was the name. He was traveling with GS 800. He was a nice guy to watch. Unfortunately, he died in Asia somewhere. He got some problems with the lungs and he died. But anyway, the information was not like today. No social media. Social media was existing, but in very, very primitive form, and it was not like today. Today you can check so many things. You can find so much information about different travelers, friends here, friends there. It is so much easier today to find not only information, but also to travel. But in the past, all of this was not existing. The information that I got, the little information that I got was mostly from motorcycle forums, but it was always subjective because the people are writing articles there and said, yeah, I was traveling and I need this and that, but what one person needs might be completely different from what another person needs. For example, I travel light with not much luggage. I mostly sleep in hotels or hostels. Sometimes I use tent. But if I give my advice to someone who prefer to tent every night and travel with his wife, they cannot make it lighter like me. So that's why I said the information that I was able to find in the forums was always subjective, and you really need to test everything on yourself to know will it work or not. So there were no videos or some kind of articles. There are some books, like books written from travelers. Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Bill. There are so much information today. Most of the information could be misleading, but at least we have many different sources of information. So you can read article there or watch video there and put this information one next to another and find where exactly is the truth. But before, it was not possible. It was possible to buy a few travelers' books, but the books, I was interested to read these books and I read some of these books, but they were more about the journey, not about how to travel, if you understand what I mean. It was nice to see, what was the name of this Jupiter, I forgot, whatever. It was a really nice book, but it was more about the journey, not how to make the journey, if you understand what I mean. Also, even like a long way around episode series, they were again about the journey, not how to prepare yourself for the journey. In fact, everything that they show in the long way around was completely opposite from what I do now. They have this expensive and heavy motorcycle, they have a big crew and everything. That's why I said this was very difficult to find the right information, and it was very, very subjective, and this could be also very misleading. That's why so many people even today believe that the best motorcycle to travel the world is GS 1200 or 1100 or whatever, and metal boxes, because this is what they saw back in the days, and they continue seeing even today. When you go to buy a motorcycle, especially BMW, you go to the shop and they will have this GS now 1300 Adventure with a top case and metal panniers and all features over there. And people believe, oh yeah, this is the way, there's no other way. So it's again very misleading, but at least you can find real people with real examples, real proofs on YouTube or on internet and make your final decision. Chris. Hi Chris. Hello from Isle of Man. No worries, Chris. We did not start it yet. I just have some kind of introduction what we're gonna discuss. 5 things that I wish I had known when I started. So I just discussed that before was very difficult to find information. Anyway, so everything that I learned, guys, everything that I learned, I did it the hard way. So I was experimenting with myself, with the motorcycle, with the luggage, with all different options. Everything that I know today came from my personal experience, from my mistakes. And when I decided to make this channel, I explained you many times how everything is happening, but when finally start to work with this channel, I decided that it will be maybe easy for so many people if I share my mistakes so they don't need to make my mistakes. So I learned everything the hard way, but it shouldn't be that way. That's why we have now all of this for many people to get some information, real proven information from me, from you guys. Sandro, hey, hi Sandro, how are you doing, man? Yeah, old school, trial and error. Exactly, Bill. This is what we are. We are from old school. I'm not that old, 50, but I'm still considered old person. I have white hair. I have some experience, as you know. So that's why we make all of this, to give some information to people that will watch it in the future and eventually help them to travel easy. Okay, let's focus now on the list that I have here. As I said, guys, to the new guys that just came, I'm gonna point here 5 different things that I have in mind to share with you guys, and after I finished, I will give you more than enough time for questions. If you have any questions, or if you want to add some information or correct me somewhere, feel free to do it. Sandro, you also have DR650. Next, my Africa Twin will never sell. Okay, good. Thanks for sharing. All right. Number one that I would like to share tonight is there is no proper time. I wish that I knew this in advance, because, you know, the proper time might never come. You have to have this in mind always. And many people said, I have family, I have kids, I have to work, maybe a little bit later, I can start travel, I can see the world and everything like this. But listen, I understand all of this. My daughter was born when I was 22 years old. My son was born 5 years later. I was 27 years old. So, do you think that I was ready for this? No, I was a kid. I started traveling when I was even, I don't know how old I was, 15 years ago. I was like 35, something like that. I was not ready for anything. I did not have enough money. The kids were still young, considerably young. Nothing was in order, nothing at all. But I still traveled because there is no proper time. The proper time might never come. I also got these everyday problems or obligations, and they will never end. If now is not the proper time, do you believe that after 3 years or 5 years or after 10 years, you'll have no more problems and everything will be solved? Your finance, your marital status, your kids, everything will be all right, and everybody will be happy to let you go? No, there is no proper time. Remember it. When you decided to travel, make all the necessary steps and go travel. I'm not saying that you have to give up your wife, your kids, your job, everything, and start traveling. No, but find a way. Make some plan in short term, not in 20 or 30 years. Make some plans and start working in this direction. And you'll see how everything will start to organizing like a puzzle. Today here, tomorrow there, and after no more than a year or two, you will start your first trips. At the beginning, they will be short, then a little bit longer, and finally, you can complete many, many goals. Anyway, everyday problems or obligations never end. The older you are, the more difficult it's going to be. This is absolutely true. If I only knew this, I would start traveling when I was 20. But I always was thinking that I need to make this, I need to settle a little bit, I need to buy an apartment, I need to have some finance. No, now is not the right moment. The kids are very young, but these problems never finish. Never ever. And the older you are, the more difficult it's going to be. You will have even more work, even more responsibilities, even more obligations. They will just never end. I will do it when I retire. Who told you that you will be able to retire? This is another one lie or something that is not promised. Who told you that when you retire, you'll be in good health, in good finance, and in good position to travel? Even if you're in good financial situation, even if your kids are already gone and you support them everything and you already organize everything, who told you that you're gonna have the knees, the arms, the hands, or the brain to travel? This is I wouldn't say that it's a real physical activity to riding a motorcycle, but still requires some kind of endurance. So you have to spend many hours sitting on the saddle like this, in the rain, in the sun, in many different riding conditions, going to different countries, walking here and there. You still need to be in good health to do this. You cannot do it if you start and every morning start with that amount of pills. if you don't have the health. So who promised to you that when you retire, you will be able to travel? I can give you one example. I have a friend, very good friend of mine. He traveled from, I don't know, 5, 6 years, maybe a little bit more, but he's already 70 years old. And now he tried to do everything before his timeline finish, if you understand what I mean. So it's impossible. If you start traveling on 65, it's not wrong. Of course, you'll have some pleasure, but it is not the same because you don't have the knees, you don't have the patience, you don't have the endurance, you don't have the time. And you understand that you run out of time and you will try to do even more, but your body will not let you do more because it is not the same. So don't wait this time. As I said, knees, blood pressure, medications, everything. So don't wait that long until your health start to descend like an airplane, and then to remember, oh, I should have started, I have to travel, I have to see this and that in the last moment. It's not gonna happen. Bill, dear guy, travel when older is so much more difficult than younger. Spot on. Absolutely, Bill. You know what it is. Now I'm 50, but I feel my knees. It's not like before. One funny example, but earlier when I was riding even dirt bikes for many years. When I fell with the dirt bike, hit the ground, I just stand, clean a little bit, and ride again. Now, when I fell on the ground, it's different story. Now the ground became so harder, man. Now when I put myself on the ground, first I lie for a second or two, and then start to think about it. Oh, okay, everything is all right. I'm not on rush to stand up immediately. I just need to a few seconds to realize, is everything all right? Arms are moving. I'm in one piece. Okay, now I can stand slowly and continue slowly. It's completely different, not like before. So we cannot lie, we cannot manipulate the nature. The age is age. Whatever it is given to you, use it properly. I hope I will be able to try it on 63, Bill. I really hope I will be able. I really hope. But I can see how everything is going slowly in this direction. I try to preserve it as much as possible. And in fact, when I travel, I feel so good. Nothing, I don't have any pain to anything. When I sit at home, especially when I spend many hours at the computer here, after 2 hours editing something, then when I stand, it's like, oh man, everything is pain. But when I write, I don't have this problem. So it looks like I have to write more and I'll be all right. All right, let's go to number 2. The most important part of any trip is you. I know that it sounds confusing, but let me explain. The trip is only for you. So don't let anyone to tell you what kind of trip you need or what kind of adventure you have to make, because the trip is for you. You have to want it and enjoy it, because if you don't want this trip, if you don't enjoy this trip, there is no reason to make it on the first place. For example, if some of your friends said, oh man, let's go to ride, I can give you an example. A few of my friends went to ride on TET, Turkey and Georgia this summer. I was on my way to Magadan. And they asked me, would I like to go with them to ride these TET roads in Georgia and Turkey? Even though I like to ride dirt roads here and there, it's not my trip to spend 2 or 3 weeks riding only on the dirt roads in Georgia and Turkey. I know that I will enjoy one part, but not everything. In my opinion, the trips need to be longer, or this is at least what I want. The trip need to be longer to cover many kilometers, to see many different places. If I go to ride TET Turkey, I'll see the mountains in Turkey, but 2 or 3 weeks I will be in the same place. So I didn't want that. Then I will move to Georgia. The scenes will change, the mountains will be different, but then I will spend a lot of time in the same place. For me, the perfect trip is every 2, 3 to 5 days to change the scenes completely. That's why, Bill, I enjoyed so much Australia, because in Australia, every 300 kilometers, the scenes are different. So it was so colorful, everything changed completely in 200-300 kilometers. But then when I went to New Zealand, everything was changing every 3 or 5 kilometers. So that's why I love even more New Zealand. Anyway, the trip is only for you. If you have to want it and enjoy it. Otherwise, just don't make it. Everyday needs need to be planned for your needs. Riding style, time, points, kilometers, everything. And when you plan this, you will actually customize and tune the trip exactly for you. I know that I will be able. Now, for example, my last trip, Magadan. I know that it's many kilometers, but I also know that I will be able to ride 500 kilometers per day because I can plan it. 3 to 500 kilometers per day. This was my idea. I know that I can make it because I know that it's sweet to my riding style. It's sweet to my time schedule, which I have 3 months. It's sweet to see all of the points that I've got on the road. It's sweet to the kilometers that I have planned. So everyday needs need to be planned for your needs. Exactly what you need, not what someone else tells you. Don't listen anyone, don't listen me either, because everything is subjective. Okay, what I would like, or what I wish I knew when I started, is that I need to work on my communications with locals. I really enjoy this part of my trips, and I do it every time when I have the chance. Now I do it all the time. I always try to connect with locals, communicate with people, but when I started my trips was not like that. I was a little bit more not afraid. I was a little bit more respectful to people. I didn't want to bother them here and there, but then I realized people are happy to help. People are happy to listen to you, to listen to your stories, to give you advice, to help you. People want that because you're a man with a motorcycle. It's like a man with a horse many years ago. If you travel by car, it's a different story. By car, you might be on business trip, you might be on something else, you might be or some kind of different occasion. But with a motorcycle, it's always the same. When people see you, they know that you're a traveler. They know what you need. You need a place to sleep, you need food and relax. That's it. Nowadays, you need internet. All right. But they know what it is. That's why I really will give you my advice. Work on your communication with locals. This will help you a lot. This helped me a lot, and I'm sure that it will help you as well. And the last point on this number 2 is, I already told you, never listen to others. You know exactly what you need. You don't need anyone to tell you what you need. You don't need me to tell you that you need light luggage, because you might travel differently and you might need all of the kilograms that you already have. So don't listen to anyone. I can give you my advice, I can share my experience. If it works for you, wonderful, use it. You don't need to pay anything, free of charge. But it is not guaranteed, so as I said, always subjective. All right, let's go now to number 3. There are no problems, only solutions. It might be a cliche, it is cliche, but it is very true. There are no problems, only solutions, always. I wish I knew this when I started. I partly knew because I'm coming from Bulgaria. In Bulgaria, where many people know, East Europe people are more flexible. We lived in difficult times. We learned how to improvise on the early age. But anyway, it is good to know that there are no problems, only solutions. Even though it might be cliche, it is a truth. For every problem, you will find at least 3 solutions. If you don't panic. If you panic, you'll find no solutions. You'll say, oh, my motorcycle is broken. Oh, I cannot do anything now. I crashed, whatever. Let me give you another one example. When I was in Turkey 2 years ago, many of you know, I crashed on the highway with 90 kilometers per hour. A car hit me from the side. I flew into the air, smashed the front window of the car, went like this, stood up. And when I was in the air, I was thinking, man, the trip is over. What am I going to say to the sponsors now? But when I went down to the ground, I saw that the bike is not that bad condition. I did not panic. I just straightened the bike, checked it out, went around. I said, man, I can fix it. And I fixed it. For 3 days, I fixed the motorcycle. And I found so many different solutions to the problem. The first problem is the crash. Okay, but I am fine. I did not have any injuries. I can continue. The second problem is the motorcycle. Yeah, but it could be fixed. The third problem is what will be after that. But again, to all of my problems, I found so many different solutions after that. First of all, so many people helped me from everywhere, and mostly local guys, Turkish guys. For 2 days, they brought all the spare parts that I needed. There were always solutions for us. Drinking solutions, absolutely. Temporary, they might help a lot. But for long term, I'm not sure about it. So, if you don't panic, you'll find always solutions. It's good to learn this. I was lucky, man, because of my former experience with everything that I have got in my life. I learned this on early stage, but I really hope that people will learn it as well. and will try to use it during their trips. Don't panic and you will find solution. When you close a door, another will be open. It's again cliche, but it works this way. Let's say, for example, if I haven't got the motorcycle to continue, which is mean, okay, the door with my tenere on after that crash is closed. What will be the next? I'm sure that I'll be able to rent a motorcycle, or someone will have given me his motorcycle in Turkey, and I will still make this trip. In the worst scenario, I can call to the friend in Bulgaria and say to him, give me your motorcycle, I need to complete this trip, and I will do it. So when you close one door, another will be open, because this will be another solution on the road. So you don't need to worry about it. But it's very important. Solutions need to be sustainable and safe. So this is something that you have to be careful, because the first reaction is, oh, I can do this and that, but you have to hold on a little bit, move on the side, see the whole picture and think. The solutions need to be sustainable and safe. The examples that I can give you now. If you are hurry for somewhere, you delay for a specific point or something, you can ride with 180 kilometers on the highway to get to the time, and this is solution, yeah? But it is not safe, because with this speed, you might have a crash. In the best scenario, you can have a speed camera somewhere and need to pay a lot of money, but you can also crash and kill yourself. Yeah, this is solution to be there on time, but it is not safe. That's why I said all the solutions need to be sustainable and safe. The second example that I can give you now is that you can ride all day without any stops. It is a solution, but it is not sustainable, because on the next day you'll be totally exhausted and you wouldn't be able to ride. That's why it's good to have always plans, good plans, sustainable and safe. And solutions need to be exactly like that. So having a good plan in advance is crucial, because it will eliminate 90% of the possible problems. That I always preach this, and I hope that people finally will understand it. And if you learn this now, it will help you a lot. As I said, I learned all of this, include the last advice that I just gave you, by the hard way. Traveling without plans, it might be fun or maybe some kind of pleasure until you have a problem, and then everything stops. Absolutely, I agree with you, Bill. It's good to have plan B, which I always have. If it's not working here, I'm gonna go there. If I plan something, I said, okay, I can try this track here. If it's not good, I can always change it here and continue this. This is plan B. When you have a plan B, your brain is set on a different ways, and actually the first plan A always go. When you don't have plan B, the first A might stop. This is how the brain works. I cannot explain it any better. So having a good plan in advance is crucial, because it will eliminate 90% of the possible problems. You will still have this 10% risk, but 10% will be part of the adventure. All right, let's now go to number 4. Number 4, this is very important. I learned this again the hard way, but I hope that many will remember it now. Plan more time instead of more kilometers. It is so simple. But when people start traveling, especially in the beginning, they want to see everything at the same time. Okay, now I have one trip for 2 weeks, I want to see so many things, and then when I come back home, I will say I saw so many things, I spent so many kilometers here and there. This is not the right way. Forget about it. Plan more time instead of more kilometers. This is maybe the number one thing that I wish I had known earlier. Because I've been to so many interesting places without enough time. Let me give you a few examples. I went and saw the whole Central Asia, all the stands, for only 2 months. Even though the time period that you can go there is around 3 to 3.5 months, I did it for 2 months. It was just too short. Now I would like to go there again and spend as maximum as possible time, because this is wonderful part of the world with so much history and everything, and people are fantastic. And if I have this chance again, I will do it with pleasure. But this time, it will be at least 3 months to see it properly. The next example that I can give you now, it's again from the same trip that I've done. I was in Kyrgyzstan. I met a really nice guy, and I actually slept in his place one of the nights. And he said, if you stay here for one more day, tomorrow we'll go together to the mountain. My brother got a lodge over there, so we'll go to his house, we'll ride horses, we'll spend many days there, we'll fishing, and we'll do a lot of this stuff. And because me and my riding friend Dima, we haven't got the time. We have to complete the trip for the shorter time because it was just our schedule. And we refused this invitation. Man, how you gonna refuse invitation to go in Kyrgyzstanian mountains to riding horses, fishing and see this wild nature with a local guy? I regret so much now. I regret so much. Then another one example. I will just give you a few examples, but they help me to say what I mean. A few years ago, I went to Ireland and then to Scotland. And between Ireland and Scotland is Isle of Man. We have a guy from Isle of Man here, Chris from Isle of Man. And then Isle of Man actually was in my plans. I said, okay, I will go to Ireland. On the way back from Ireland, I will take a ferry, stop on Isle of Man, go and see the whole island, right on the places where they have this motorcycle race and everything. And then after that, I'm going to take another ferry and go and continue my trip to Scotland. But when I went to Ireland and when I decided to get a ferry to Isle of Man, I realized that the ferry is only twice per week. And I said, if I go now to the island, I have to stay like 3 days in the island before the next ferry. I said, I'm gonna do 3 days in this island. It's going to be boring, and I skip it. And now I regret because I was there, man. I was there. How you gonna miss Isle of Man if you're already there? 3 days, whatever. Spend it 3 days. What are 3 days in your life? Nothing. Now I regret. Christoph. So true, it is relaxed travel when you have time. Even plan the hotels from one day in order nearly see the day of monuments and waterfall. Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. Now on my trip to Russia, because I have this time, it was so much better when you have time. You don't need to have this rush. You can plan better. You can enjoy everything. You can enjoy. If you decided I don't want to ride today, just don't ride it. That's it. It's so much better. So I told you about Isle of Man. Another one point, Afghanistan. I was in Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and when I was in Tajikistan, I was riding around 2,000 kilometers on the border with Afghanistan. But because I did not have enough time, and I did not plan it in advance, I did not have double visa for Tajikistan. If I was able to plan this advance, to have this double way visa for Tajikistan, I would be able to cross to Afghanistan, see this part of Afghanistan, and come back. But because I've got a wrong plan, I couldn't do it. Now I regret because I was on the border, man. Do you know where is Afghanistan? To go there again will cost me so much time and money and efforts just to go there. But I was there and didn't visit it because of poor planning. Another one example, and it will be the last. Mongolia. I did Mongolia in 2017, and it was like a 45 or 50 days trip, and I spent like 2 weeks in Mongolia because I haven't got enough time. Because I had 1 month Russian visa, and for this 1 month I need to cross the whole Russia, go to Mongolia, see Mongolia, and come back the same way. Now, for example, on my trip to Mongolia, I've got 3 months visa. So if I knew this in advance, I can make this 3 months visa, be slow in Russia, spend at least a month in Mongolia, maybe more because there's so much to see, and then come back. So everything is just pointless. So that's why at the beginning, plan more time instead of more kilometers. Less is always more. Less points, more time on it. When you have your plans, when you open a big map or Google map or whatever files you use for navigation or whatever source you use for navigation, make or plan less points and more time. This is the advice I can give you. And also try to find different types of attractions. Let me give you some example to understand what I mean. You don't need to see 10 churches, for example, because more or less they will be the same, especially if they are all Catholic or Orthodox church. More or less, even if you see 20, they'll be more or less the same. So plan different attractions. Let's say plan a church, then sea coast, mountains. Make a better planning, man. You don't need to stuck on only churches or museums or something like that. Because the life is so short, the journey is usually going very quick, everything is going on the pedals. Plan more different attractions. This will help you a lot to understand the country. This is very, very important. Learn the history of the place in advance. This will help you also a lot. I wish I knew this in advance, but I knew it now. Now I always prepare myself. Before the country that I plan to visit, I always try to learn all the history of this country, whatever is possible. Because if you know the history, you know where are the important parts, where are the important attractions, and what you need to see there, and what you don't need to see when you know the history. So learn the history of the place in advance. This will help you a lot. Learn about everything, about the local habits, understandings, religion, food preferences, everything. All of this will make your trip such a pleasant journey, because you know everything in advance, you know what you look for, and with a little help from locals, it will be like BAM! Different trip. Anyway, and the last point that I would like to discuss before I give you time for questions is that number 5, I know nothing. This is the truth. The more I write, the more I learn, the better I understand that I know nothing. And as soon as you understand this, you will actually open your mind for everything. I know that it sounds confusing or like a pointless advice, but it is important to understand it. Christoph, never book accommodation and a full trip in advance. Just give stress. Absolutely. I never book in advance. I always booked when I'm sure that I will get to the place. So I know nothing. This is the truth. First tips and okay. If I have, if I go back now and see my first trips, and now the difference is huge. Even on my first trips, I was believing that I know a lot about motorcycle trips, even that I never been there before, but because I read articles here and there, as I said, these forums and stuff like that, and I was thinking that I'm ready and I know a lot. If I compare them with the trips that I do now, I understand that back in the days I knew nothing, which is mean that next year, my next trip to South America next year will be even better than the trip that I've got now to Russia, because I will know a little bit more, if you understand what I mean. The more I learn, the better I understand that I know nothing. Whenever I jump on the bike, I learn something. Every time when I sit on my motorcycle, I learn something. It doesn't matter, it's going to be to ride on a long trip or just shortly, you learn something. So it's like a forever school, as I said. And never overestimate your skills. I've done this a few times during my trips and I was punished for that. Never overestimate your skills. You have a specific skills, you know exactly what they are. So don't play gambles, don't play Russian roulette. Just do it slowly with your skills. It is better to rethink the situation that you're about to go. If necessary, even skip it. But don't try to play, I'm a hard man, I'll do it on any cost, because this might play you a really bad favor, because you know nothing. I know nothing, you know nothing. Forever school is not ended. In Bulgaria, we have this like A4. When someone dies, we print a picture with his face, his name, and a few nice words about him. And the first 40 days, this one is hung in front of your door or your neighborhood. And the name of this thing is necrolog. It's said that someone dies, it's like to remember this person. And in Bulgaria, we said that we learn the whole of our life. It's like forever school. And when you got your necrolog, you already learned everything. It's like diploma for life. So, guys, you know nothing and I know nothing. With this, I will finish my speech. I hope that you're not bored to death. Anyway, guys, now, if you want to add anything on this topic, do it so. If you have any other questions, feel free to go and share it to me, guys. I can see that now I have the moment 10 people, which is mean a lot of new people. Please introduce yourself if you have anything, questions, or if you want to add, go ahead. Richard, do not let anyone or the media tell you that the world is a scary place. Most people are like us, and what they said, absolutely confirm this with all of my trips. And this is one of the reasons why I do all of these travel episodes. I just want to show you guys that the world is not a scary place. Absolutely, Richard, thanks for adding this. I always try to explain people that the people are good everywhere. Of course, there will be some problems here and there, but problems might happen everywhere around the world, even in the most safe countries. So don't let the media tell you that the world is a scary place. If I was listening about how dangerous the world is, I will never go to the trip. Even now on my Russian trip, so many people try to to stop me and said, oh, it's very dangerous there. Dangerous? All right. Yeah, absolutely right. Thank you very much for adding this, Richard. So the new guys, I can see that we have new people here. If you introduce yourself, will be great. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot. I'll be happy to reply to you guys. I will give you more like 15 minutes. So if you have anything to say, to add on the topic or questions, go ahead. It was a long speech. Good that I've got a few glasses of wine before that. Everything was going smoothly, at least for me. Maybe it's not that smooth, maybe my language is not good, but in my brain everything is alright. A few words in another language go a long way. Absolutely, few words in another language will help a lot. I confirm this with my trips. Learn the most important and you will open so many doors. Christoph, my friends do not understand it. They say, let's go on holiday tour, 2 weeks, Pyrenees or Balkans. I always reply, I don't want to do a holiday tour. I want to travel. It's a journey, not a holiday. Absolutely confirm. Holiday, family holiday or holiday is different than motorcycle trip. Motorcycle trip needs distance. You need distance. You need to travel, or at least this is how I understand it. Forrest, good advices, they apply also in real life, not only on long motorcycle trips. Absolutely, Forrest. All of the tips that I give or the advice that I usually give on my channel, they also help me a lot on my real life. They are not, they are like more or less universal advice for everything. For everything, not only for motorcycle trips. But motorcycle trips are part of the normal life, that's why it's the same. But I agree with Christoph, it's a trip, it's a journey, not a holiday tour. I cannot see myself go on holiday and sit on the beach of nice hotel and do nothing than sitting on the beach and eating in the restaurant. It's never happened, and I guess it will never happen in my life. I can stay there for 2 days. If I'm very tired for 2 days, I will really enjoy it. After that, I don't know. I cannot even spend a lot of time even in different places. For example, last year when I went to Europe, I went to Sicily, Sardinia, Corsica, absolutely wonderful places to ride a motorcycle. A lot of curves and wonderful views and sea and everything. But after 3 days in Sardinia, I said, that's it. Let's go to another place. Then I spent 2-3 days in Corsica. That's it. I don't need any more. A few years ago, I went to Gran Canaria. It's like a motorcycle paradise. For 2 days, 3 days, I spent like almost 8 to 10 hours per day riding, and I've got 300 kilometers, which means thousands of different turns here and there. Fantastic place to ride a motorcycle. But after 3 days, forget about it. I will never go there again because it's not something that I will enjoy so often. Christoph, do you have the feeling that you did spend spend as long as you want in a country, but there are always so much more to see there? Yes, many times, Chris, many times. Many countries deserve a lot of time. It doesn't matter how long you're gonna stay there, you will ask for more. One of the countries that you discussed is India. I went to India in 2018. I spent like almost 1.5 months in India, but it was nothing. It was just like this picture. I saw a big portion of India, but I would like to go again because I know that there's so much to see there. White, dear guy, I found out there is never enough time to a trip, especially if you go somewhere alone, because you find things you never expect. Yes, this is also true. The time is never enough. Now on my trip to Russia, 3 months, they just went like this, poof. The time is never enough. And it's also very important to understand that our time also won't be enough. That's why it's so important to use it properly. Richard, not everything might go as you want. This is life, except the part of the trip, and don't then put it on travel. Yeah, absolutely. It's the same, not only for life, for trips, everything. We have our plans. I always said, plan everything, prepare everything. Preparation is the key to success. I said this many times. But it doesn't mean that the whole plan will go exactly smooth like a sea level. No, there will be problems like this, peaks and downs, but you have to follow the baseline or some kind of basic line. Big D, with a smile on your face, most peeps worldwide and always welcoming to you, and even miserable ones you can put on the down of experience. Absolutely. Smile will open more than any gun. So if you can be calm person, nice person, smile, help people. Or another way, ask for help and you will receive help. Even in the Bible it said, if you ask, it will be given to you. Or whatever it is exactly, pronouncement, whatever. Thanks for adding, Big D. Richard. Okay. Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you very much for coming again. Thank you very much for support. I really appreciate your company always on all of my videos and my streams. Thank you very much. Send my regards to your wife. Let's go, guys. I'll give you a few more minutes. If you have any questions on any topic, now is the moment. I'm here to help. Man flu. Got a good cure for man flu. Okay, good. Good cure for man flu. No, I did not get it. Big D, I did not get it. What do you mean? Got a good cure for man flu. I understand what I mean. You mean that it's good to be outside, far away from people, if you understand. Robert, got myself a Kawasaki Versus 1000 2013 model, so comfortable, lots of planning ahead to discover the world, half of Australian continent already done so far, can't wait to the memories to be made. I wish you good luck, Robert. You have a wonderful motorcycle, it will give you the chance to ride a big portion of Australia. Even if you want to go to the outback, you can do it, man. The motorcycle is just a tool, do it. I wish you all the best. Why, dear guy, some advice needed. What do you recommend best road from Croatia to UK? From Croatia to UK. If you have time, Bill, send me an email or whatever. I'll try to make a good road to you. Do you know a good cure for flu? I'm dying here. Unfortunately not. Yeah, just send me an email, Bill. I will try to point to some good things to see on the way to UK. It's a nice journey. If you include France, also will be nice. Will be very, very beneficial. Robert, how do I do with the video editing on the fly? I just don't edit anything, Robert. When I travel, I don't edit anything. I upload short updates straight from the camera to my telephone and then to YouTube. And I edit everything when I come back home. This is how I do it. I'm not saying that this is the best way, but this is the way that suits me. I don't want to waste any time waiting videos when I travel. It's my time to relax, to get impressions from the world, and I want to preserve it for myself. Christoph, I have a question, Pavlen. Thanks and see you next. I have no questions, Pavlen. Okay. Thank you very much for coming, Christoph. See you next Sunday. Yes, Robert, this idea works very well because you don't waste your time. It just works always for me. All right, guys. Thank you very much to all of you for the support, for all the information that you shared here, everything. Next Sunday, the same time. What topic? I don't know yet. We'll find a nice topic and we'll, oh yes, absolutely. And Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Next Sunday is going to be December. Sorry. It is not going to be on Christmas. It is my mistake. So it will be the Sunday after that. The Sunday after that is going to be 31st. Which is mean that this will be the last stream for this year. Yeah, absolutely. So guys, then see you next year. So the next Sunday is 24th and the next after that is 31st. So we're not gonna see until the next year. 1 year. All right, guys. Thank you very much to all of you. Have a nice a wonderful Christmas and Happy New Year. See you again in the new 2024, I hope, with more plans and more adventures and more from everything. Thank you very much, guys.